The original inhabitants of what would later become the country of Rwanda were the Twa, a group categorized under the broader Pygmy classification. Later, two other groups migrated into the area, the Hutu and the Tutsi. The Hutu and Tutsi ethnic groups could be primarily distinguished based on their way of life, with the Tutsi being cattle herders and skilled warriors, while the Hutu grew crops and lived from subsistence agriculture. Initially, the Hutu and the Tutsi had cordial relationships, sharing culture and language and often intermarrying. The Twa were, however, branded untouchables. They were confined to the margins of society, not allowed to eat and drink from the same cups as the Hutu and Tutsi, and their men forbidden from marrying Hutu or Tutsi women. The Kingdom of Rwanda first emerged at roughly the 15th century AD. Originally a small Tutsi chiefdom, it expanded, subdued, and absorbed several other chiefdoms, putting them under the rule of a specific Tutsi clan. It was under this new rule that the differentiation between Hutu and Tutsi began to take on a more hierarchical dimension, with the Tutsi being the richer, land-owning upper layer of the society, while the larger horticultural population being designated Hutu. Rwanda was ruled by an autocratic ruler, the Mwami. Under his rule, a type of feudal system emerged, whereby Hutu peasants were allowed to grow crops on land generally owned by Tutsi lords. They had to pay tribute to their respective lords. Discrimination became deeply embedded in Rwandese society on a militaristic, political, economic, and judicial level. At first, some semblance of social mobility was present. The Mwami could allow a Hutu who had acquired enough wealth through cattle to enter a cleansing ritual and become an honorary Tutsi. Over time, however, this practice would become so rare, the Hutu and Tutsi classes effectively became castes. When the Germans and later the Belgians arrived in the region, they saw this caste system as a natural racial order and labeled these groups as races, which made the system even more oppressive and rigid, with long-lasting consequences.